guys, it's Richard, Aficionado Channel and reefs.com, and thanks for joining us today. Today I'm here in Biota Aquarium in Fort Lauderdale. I'm with my good friend Jake. How are you, man?
Good, how about you?
Good, good. And I'm here to show you guys something that is so mind-blowing. Well, at least to me, and hopefully it will be to you as well, because it's groundbreaking work. First of all, before we get into all of this, let me tell you a little story. Basically, these are found in the waters of Cuba. You can't get them in the United States. For a long time now, we were under a trade embargo, right?
Yeah.
And we couldn't get anything from Cuba and etc. So these fish were not for us in the stateside at all. I tried for many years, going through many different suppliers, trying to bring this to the stateside as to the hands of the breeders, so we educate the folks and etc. All the jump holes that we had to jump through, we still weren't able to get them. Quick shout out to my good friend Charles Steinfeld, back in the days of Global Oceanic Life, as well as SOS Wholesale Facility, and we tried so much, but we weren't able to get this. My close friends knew that I had infatuations with this fish, and a couple of years ago, my good friend Jared called me up. Hey Richard, guess what fish I'm getting? And you know, I was like, what are you getting? What are you getting? After a couple of guesses, I couldn't know. I didn't know which one he was getting. And he told me that he was able to bring this fish into the stateside and into the hands of my also another amazing friend, Todd Gardner, Aquarist of the Year from MASNA, for his outstanding efforts in captive breeding fish. And they were able to captive bred this now. Passing down a few years down the line, Todd has been able to bring a lot of these fish into brood stocks and etc. and just make it in the numbers where Biota is stepping in to bring this to you guys so that it's available in a hobby now. So with that background story out of the way, I'm here with Jake and we're gonna talk about this fish. So Jake, tell me about Gramma Dejongis.
They're honestly one of the most incredible, brightest fish I've ever seen in the hobby. I've always heard stories, I've seen pictures, I've never seen them in person. I think there's only like one or two on display in public aquariums. I think one of them's actually in San Francisco.
Right.
They're gorgeous fish. They're really cool and personable. They're like a captive bred fish because they come up to you when you come up to the tank. Like a lot of Royal Grammas sometimes hide, but like...
Right, because Royal Grammas, they'll perch like upside down. They hide. They're a little bit more cryptic.
Yeah.
But I guess those traits kind of went away because it's, you know, man-bred.
Exactly, yeah.
The hand feeding, you know, like it's used to people now, basically. That's awesome.
Yeah, they have gorgeous bright coloration, just like the wild counterparts. They're just really, really pretty fish.
So this actually kind of caught everybody off guard. How did this relationship between Todd and Biota happen?
I mean, Todd's obviously been one of the best breeders in the industry for a pretty long time, and we're always looking at like really great talent and really supporting companies and people that are doing things the right way.
Right.
Like we do support the Oceanic Institute with supplying us with yellow tangs, and our support allows them to continue their research, continue possibly even doing other species like that. And it's really just trying to get the hobby into a place where we're really succeeding at breeding more fish than we're taking out of the ocean.
Right.
That's kind of the overall goal here.
Yeah.
We kind of give people an option between wild caught and captive bred fish.
Yeah.
And some cases where you can't get the wild caught version, we have a captive bred fish here that you can get, and it's the only kind you can get at the Dejongi.
Right. I mean, we have said this in numerous videos that we have done so far. They're the pros and cons, and the pros of having a captive bred fish versus the wild counterpart is just huge. I mean, for me to have everything that's conditioned, ready to eat, because eating is a big factor when you buy a big expensive fish like this. If you buy a fish, it doesn't eat, it will die. How good is it if you're just trying to save a little bit of buck, just go wild, and while you pay a little bit more and you buy a perfectly acclimated fish, disease-free, just nothing to really worry about, and just thrive in your system. You know, it's made for that system. And you know, you brought an interesting story how you guys, you know, like support the good people in the hobby, good institutes in the hobby, and I really love working with Biota because of that reason. You know, they also hired Kevin, who's also the mastermind behind Blue Hippo Tang. Which was one of the first in the hobby as well. I mean, it's going through like a lot of groundbreaking stuff right now, and Biota is actually in the bleeding edge of it. And there are so many things right now that I want to say what's coming, but I mean that I can't. But I mean, trust me when I say this. I mean, we're living in a time that's just It's so exciting, so exciting. We used to get maybe captive-bred fish maybe like once a year.
Exactly, yeah.
We're now getting what, like once a month? Every other month? I mean, it's exciting.
Yeah, the news coming out of Bali, the news coming out of even ORA with the Gigas clams,
right.
Poma Labs, all the angels that they've done.
Yeah.
We're at a really interesting spot in the industry where things are becoming way more possible than they were before.
Let's go back to the Gramma Dejongi because that's the main reason we're here. We get sidetracked because we get so excited about these kind of stuff. You know, I really say this every single time I'm on the video, wherever the shows. I think aquaculture is the future. Chad Clayton says aquaculture is now, and we could talk about that. But I mean, we're getting there. But Gramma Dejongi, what's something that you realized once you got your hands on? How many of these guys you guys have here?
We just have 20 here right now. We've got a couple more batches in the works and a couple of paired ones. We did notice that there are a couple interesting ones in here that are personally my favorite. We're kind of hoping maybe we'll put one in our display tank back there.
Todd told me about this. Now, generally, like general look of a Dejongi, how does it look like?
Usually bright yellow with really nice purple accents on the fins and on the top of the caudal fin.
Like basically, like it's like a opposite of a Royal Gramma. Yeah. So like purple with the yellow fins and stuff like that. So it's completely opposite. But Todd told me there was something different.
Yeah, there's about 4 of them that are just really weird and interesting. It's a light bluish / pinkish / like off-white instead of purple.
So yeah, so instead of the purple, like the fins on the sides, there's like you had like really brightish, like bright white fins. Is that really rare?
I've never seen it before, but like I think even with Todd, only a couple of them kind of ended up with that color morph. But it's really interesting to see that happen.
I was told that it was like less than 5% of the whole brood stock. I mean the clutch. Yeah. And how many of them you have here?
We only have 4 here right now.
4 out of 20 is not bad actually.
Yeah.
Wow. So, how this fish has been behaving for you so far?
Honestly, perfect. We threw them in the tanks right away. They were out in front looking for food. They ate like about 20 minutes after we put them in the tanks and acclimated them. They show really kind of almost no fear, which is cool. They come up right to the front of the glass. They each have their own little burrows. So they don't really fight with each other either.
So are these just like Royal Grammas where you don't need a really big tank to have? Yeah,
they act about the same. These are what? These are half of a 67-gallon tank, and there's 8 of them in each tank. They're super happy. I don't see any aggression. I don't see any fighting, and I don't see them out competing each other for food.
Now, I'm really surprised because when I see, like, because this is Philology Center is a conditioning center, so whenever they bring in the fish, they're usually very, very small. But these are actually really good size.
Yeah, Todd's been holding on for these guys for a little while. They all look pretty close to full grown. There's some smaller guys in there, but they're all healthy, happy, and they grow pretty fast once you get like the right diet with them.
So what are their usual like a meal? Like what are their ideal food?
I feed them frozen mysis, some pellet. We kind of mix it in there with some spirulina brine.
What kind of conditions should we provide for these fish?
It's actually the same as a regular reef tank. We have them in the system with a couple of our yellow tanks right now. So baseline salinity, baseline temperature, nothing has to be really it's not like a cold water fish, not a deep water. So basically just a regular reef fish.
All right guys, so these are some of the few things that I wanted to show from Biota and see what they have in works. So something that you can look forward to in the next big trade show like Reefapalooza or MASNA in Orlando, right?
Yeah, we have a pretty big booth at MASNA this year.
Ooh, I'm excited to see what you guys do. I actually have heard some few things on the pipeline and I heard that it's going to be phenomenal. Be sure to stop by. Do you know your booth number already?
We're a sponsor speaker, so right in the front.
Be sure to check out their booth. You won't be disappointed. They're going to have groundbreaking, amazing work. So many different captive-bred species and aquaculture pieces. You won't regret it. And keep an eye out for these Gramma Dejongis. They're phenomenal fish, and just I applaud them for all their hard work. And it's just breathtaking. And I'm just super excited that I get to see this fish in person. Well, thanks for Jake for having me.
Thanks for coming by.
All right, man. You have a great day.
You too.
Thank you for watching, guys. Have a good day.